Yo, what is going on, man? We're not that late. Not that late tonight. We are back with another episode of the Daily App. I am your host, of course, Jay, the professional yapper, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in on this beautiful Saturday. I hope everybody is doing good. We got a lot to talk about, a lot is going on. Um, so get ready for your relaxing late night yap session. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in or on your way out. If you happen to be a hater and you literally just came in to watch and you about to leave now, you can still hit the like button before you go. Make sure you guys hit the sub button too. If you are new to the channel, we are on the road to 22K. I keep forgetting every day. There's so many platforms that I be looking at. We're on the road to 22K, and I appreciate all the support along the way. Um, what is going on? Crystal's back. What's up, Crystal? Michelle, what's going on? Ready to yap. Yes, indeed. You know it. We got quite a bit to talk about. So it's gonna be some yapping involved, of course. Of course. Saturday episode. I like the episode, man. That is clever. I like that. I might have to steal that from y'all. I like that. Man, remember, if you are new to the channel and you haven't heard of the kind of like what's going on back here, drop your state or your country if you don't want to be too personal, even though your state really don't give up nothing. Drop your state on where you're listening from. That way I can add you to the map. I think I'm 1 day behind on my pins. So as soon as we get done here, I will be adding yesterday, or my fault, 2 days ago's states and countries, and today if I missed anybody. So I'm behind a little bit, but you see the map is growing. We are everywhere. This is everybody that's tuning into the episode, right? This is all the supporters from around the world. So I definitely would like to show my gratitude as well for appreciating y'all for supporting the channel, listening to, all of these different episodes, listening to me yap. So I definitely would love to know where you guys are listening from. That way I could just continue to look up here and just feel motivated, because this is amazing that we all get to come every single day and provide this safe space for us to yap about absolutely whatever. And I never feel pressured at all, even though I probably wouldn't feel pressured because I typically don't ever really care about outside factors and opinions. But to have a show like this where we don't have to worry about being super professional and dressing all, I don't know, podcast material. It's not your typical podcast stuff. You know what I mean? I feel very comfortable. I'm in my PJs. You know what I mean? So like this is me. We just chilling. I keep having in my mind, I know somebody's gonna tell me to let it go. And I did. I didn't think about it all day today. But I've had in my mind a couple of times. Every time I look at my do-rag, I'm thinking about what Coach said yesterday. What he said about me and my do-rag. I'm like, God dang, I can't wear a do-rag, bro. I'm just chilling. Even though you got the beanie on. But literally every time I looked at my do-rag today, I was like, dang, bro, why I get the shot? He threw a jab, he threw a shot at the Dewey, bro. I'm like, why you do that? But it's all good. No harm. You know what I mean? No hard feelings. It is what it is. California. Yeah, we got quite a bit of California. So you might gotta drop your city with California. We got 2 or 3 pins in California. Texas, we got Houston. So if you outside of Houston, you might want to get a little bit more specific. But yeah, we do got a lot to talk about tonight, and I don't want to get too deep into it because I guess y'all wasn't even a part of it. That was on TikTok last night. But Coach, you watched yesterday's episode. Coach had brought up some things that we were talking about on X. He had mentioned the page and what we were talking about on there with the fake chapters, and he was talking about my page, and he made a couple of jokes. You know what I mean? So you can go listen to that. I don't want to go too far, off tonight, because we talked about that quite a lot last night, just because that was my first time hearing it. But it just threw me off a little bit, because he was like, you know what I mean? He was just saying like, "Oh man, you're black with a do-rag." I'm like, God dang, bro, what they got to do with anything? You know what I mean? Like, and again, I don't he probably meant no harm with it, but it was just like random. So it's all good. The reason I brought that up is because every time I look at my do-rag, I'm literally in my mind like I'm thinking of his comment about the do-rag. So I was like, that was crazy to me. But we got a lot to talk about tonight, man. Let me go ahead and jump into it. We have, obviously, the fake chapters have been a very, very trendy thing going on with the TPUSA Club America fake chapters. I put out a tweet out not too long ago, actually. Probably like 10 minutes or so ago. I have found up to 60 fake chapters by Club America. And there have been a lot of people reaching out as well. Man, I'm just trying to fix something, man. There we go. A lot of people have been reaching out as well, talking about they have reached out to their local county or local high school. They've talked to principals, staff, all that stuff. And I love it. Please continue sending it over to me, because I will not hesitate to air that out. But yeah, so people have been reaching out about that, talking about, man, look, this is what the principal responded back to me in email, and he's saying like, I have no idea what you're talking about with a Club America. Like, I have, there's no Club America here. I have never heard of it for the last 10 years I've been here, bro. So I love that. I love the fact that everybody's like getting engaged and locked in a little bit and just fed up with the fraud, bro. That's really why I was locked in on it. I'm just sick of the fraud. I'm sick of these people that are just taking advantage of loopholes in America, in our system, while we are out here grinding, right? They always call me a grifter when I'm getting taxed by YouTube and taxed by any social media. But these folks are out here making millions off nonprofits. These folks are out here creating fake chapters and all these different loopholes that they have. These people work at a nonprofit and they live in a mansion. You seem like you're very profitable. You work in a nonprofit, you live in a mansion, you have private jets as transportation. You're not paying taxes on the businesses, right? Maybe personally they are, but the business is not. I'm over here paying taxes on absolutely everything, and I'm driving my Kia everywhere. So, like, yeah, I'm on my channel. I can talk about absolutely whatever I want as my social media checks continue to get taxed, and they continue to tweak different things to make sure we get paid less and less and less as the years go by. And I just get sick of that, bro. It's so annoying when they be. Oh man. I'll show it for y'all, man. I don't want to be that guy. I'll show it to y'all. I know some of y'all are talking about Coach. So I'll show it to y'all. And again, I want to preface, it ain't no bad blood. You know what I mean? I just thought it was a wild statement. And I was just like, maybe that was just a little crazy, but it could have just been a joke that didn't land with me. And I'm willing to accept that. So I'll bring that up in a little bit, but we're gonna talk about the fake chapters. We're gonna talk about a little bit of some of the donkey of the days, because I always like to go through those. There's been some funny things going on. And then we're gonna get to Megyn Kelly. And I am so excited to get to it, because this just exposes her for being two-faced, man. She's two-faced. And she had an interview with the Hodge twins. And they asked her a couple of questions about Erica and Charlie and all that stuff. And just I'm just interested in hearing her responses. And I'm interested in what y'all think as well about what she had to say, because it just proves, man, that she is very two-faced. And I cannot wait to get to that. I'm gonna leave that at the end. Um, First and foremost, I will show y'all what I'm talking about with Coach, because I know a lot of people are like, "What?" I keep forgetting that last night I was on TikTok live and on YouTube live, so a lot of people will probably have no idea what I'm talking about right now. So it would feel weird of me to not show what I'm talking about. So let me pull it up really quick. I didn't expect to pull this up, so I'm trying to get it ready. All right, I found it. Okay. Okay. Here we go for the ones that haven't seen it before. And this is, I guess Coach is gonna explain it, but this is just about the Nick Shirley thing that we talked about the other night on live, as far as um him investigating Turning Point USA, and we know he's not gonna do that, right? But Coach Colin was the one that brought it up, right? He said it very quick, like Nick Shirley's not gonna investigate this. And I immediately was like, that is a great point. Like, they work for the same team. This proves that he is an agent. He won't investigate these fake chapters. So I thought that was a great point. So that's why I brought it up. And when I started tweeting about it, because like y'all know me, I'm gonna just put it out there. I'm like, shoot, Nick Shirley, where I tagged him. I said, bro, where you at? Like, and so I said, Coach Colin made a great point today because I was listening to his live, and I didn't want to act like I stole the idea, but I said what I said, and that is what Coach Collins is about to get into right now. So let's take a listen.
He's very sick, apparently. Very ill again. Yes, exactly. But the last thing that happened in regards to this whole thing that I'll talk about is this guy Jay. I don't know who Jay is. Okay, I don't even know Jay. Jay follows me, right? Does Jay have a podcast? I always find it weird when people have a X profile and they don't have a link to anything, because it's like, how are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You're just doing it to do it, but then you have a picture of you with a microphone and you're black and you have a do rag. Is this an AI video? What you got? Oh, okay, he does have a link. Okay. Professional yapper. Okay. I am also professional yapper. He says, Coach made a great point today. He goes, Nick Shirley.
So I was like, God dang, bro. Like, this is the first time any type of interaction has ever happened between Coach seeing my content or whatever. So I was like, what is going on? That completely caught me off guard. I had no idea. I wasn't even on his live when he was going through that. So somebody said it last night when we was on TikTok. It was like, bro, like Coach was talking about you earlier. And I was like, what? That about? And then I was like, oh yeah, I did tag him, but I'm surprised he saw that. And so yeah, when I played it, I'm thinking, I don't know. It was just like about what I was talking about. And when he said that, I definitely was like, well, dang, bro. I mean, like, you in a hoodie and a Scully. So what's up when I can't be in a hoodie and a Dewey? Like, so I don't know, bro. It was crazy. But I do appreciate, I think I watched a little bit more, and I do appreciate somebody was like, somebody sent them a super and was like, man, we love JD Apper, man, blah blah. And then he like brushed over. He was like, oh yeah, I'll look at his content. And then like, so it could have just been a little prejudged moment. I don't know. But and then somebody also said that he's a little paranoid because he doesn't really like to um be on the radar. So I don't really care. Like, I'll tag people, and I'm not like disrespecting nobody. You know what I mean? I don't do that. But I'll like say, Tyler Boyer, Andrew Colvett, or whatever the situation is. Like, Tyler Boyer just commented on one of the tweets. I ain't even mentioned him, but I said something about it, but I didn't tag him. But you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I don't really care. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just say how I feel. But somebody was like, yeah, coach don't really like being on the map. Like he don't like being on the radar. He kind of like being low key. So I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, my fault. I didn't know. I just didn't want to be the person that stole content or something like that, stole an idea. So it's all good though. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. So that's what all that was about. Now going just to some quick things that going on before we get to these fake chapters. I do want to spend some time in these fake chapters. Yeah, I was live on TikTok last night. That when it's too late for YouTube or it's a day that I'm not on YouTube, I'm usually on TikTok live. Because TikTok live, I'll probably get suspended in 20 minutes. So I might as well just get it out the way. I will get to some of y'all comments. Let me get to some of this stuff so that way I don't waste anybody's time on this beautiful night. We got a couple of things going on as far as like the donkey of the day. The biggest thing that I want to show, I probably want to show one thing so we can get to the fake chapters. So Andrew Corvette, Turning Point USA, the Charlie Kirk show, they were trending. I guess not Turning Point USA. It's the Charlie Kirk show. They were trending yesterday because they went on the show to talk about, finally, they addressed the elephant in the room on Charlie Kirk and Massey, Thomas Massey, because everybody obviously knows that Charlie Kirk supported Thomas Massey, all this other stuff, and Turning Point USA did not support Thomas Massey in his race that he just ran and lost. So we all were trying to figure out when anybody from Turning Point USA was going to address the elephant in the room that Charlie Kirk loved Thomas Massey. Erica Kirk didn't do it, blah, blah, all that. So this is what the Charlie Kirk show had to say about Charlie and Thomas Massey and all that stuff for the first time. Let me get this pulled up.
I wanted to know a little bit more about the Thomas Massey loss and what's your thoughts on that?
I got so many thoughts. It's interesting, David. I've been accused, I think the organization's been accused, Erica's been accused of betraying Charlie by not coming out and endorsing one way or the other and not being more involved in that race. I will tell you, and I haven't said this publicly, but and I know this isn't necessarily a question, but it's an opportunity to address it. But, after the One Big Beautiful Bill vote, and I want to respect Charlie's privacy as well. It's always the tension in all of this. There's private conversations. Charlie was a fan of Thomas Massey, especially historically, liked him on war, liked him on being a budget hawk and spending. But he was pretty frustrated that Massey didn't vote in the affirmative on the Big Beautiful Bill because it was essentially the totality of President Trump's first-year agenda wrapped into one bill. And I will just say, privately, Charlie was really, really frustrated.
Yeah, I think.
See, they're trying to adjust the narrative, right? They're trying to fit their narrative that, if Charlie was alive, he would have been with us. He would have been against Massey, just like how Trump is. They've been doing it since he died. No matter what it is, they'll spin Charlie Kirk's words and what he actually stood for and said while he was alive. And because he can't defend himself or speak for himself, they'll speak for him. And then now everybody's going back and forth to his content saying, no, he would say this. And then they try to trump it all by saying, I had a private conversation with Charlie. And now we're like, what can we say? You're lying about that, which he is. But it's just, you get nowhere with it. But that's the nastiness of it all, is that they're willing to go to the extent of just lying on a dead man. I had a private conversation with Charlie. He was upset with Thomas Massey. He wouldn't. I'm just letting y'all know. I talked to him behind closed doors. He would not have supported Thomas Massey. It's just sick when they do that, because they're lying.
That's the right way to put it. And I think he would have become more frustrated over the events of the past 9 months, which is, we liked what Massey said. We liked his libertarian credentials. We liked him making the debt clock that ran on the little
and I still
lapel
like
pin.
Massey.
And there's so many things to like about him, but he has, especially over the past few months, he's become the number one let's put it, Republican gadfly, Republican who gets in Trump's
Obstructionism.
way, criticizes Trump, and not just on debt or the war, but also on Epstein, saying that where there's this pedophile class that Trump is allied to, essentially. And I think Charlie would have been, as you said, very frustrated. He would have, and Charlie was not a guy who would feud publicly. He would have certainly been messaging Massey about that and being like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And he would have been very concerned with it.
Well,
we don't
and I
know
think-
exactly what he'd say.
Yeah, I don't know
But that's
either.
us being honest about it.
Yeah, but I will tell you that I had some very candid conversations after the big beautiful bill where he voiced his frustration to me privately.
It's absolutely insane and sickening that they continue to keep doing that. They continue to keep on saying Charlie would have did this, Charlie would have did this. But I don't know what he would have said, but I know he would have been frustrated. Just shut up, bro. I mean, they continue to do that. And I said yesterday, pretty much saying like Turning Point USA now has pretty much communicated with us that Charlie Kirk was a MAGA shield. He was like that. That's what they want us to know about Charlie. And it's weird because it's like we're over here fighting for Charlie and saying he was an independent thinker, free thinker. He spoke his mind. He was outspoken, right? He would say how he feels. He was America first. But then Turning Point USA turns around and they're like, no. That's y'all have Charlie confused. He was a MAGA shield. He was a Trump talking, a mouthpiece. No matter what it was, he would have went with it. Thomas Massey, yeah, he loved him all this time, but we're telling you that if he was alive today, he would have turned on Thomas Massey just because Trump turned on him. Like that's basically what they're telling us, and it's so confusing because we're stuck sitting there like, bro, how is regular people? We feel like we're over here defending Charlie's legacy and his name, and then you have his wife, you have his co-workers and people that are close to him that are calling him like a brother, and all these different people that are saying, no, y'all got it all wrong. Charlie was not a free thinker. Actually, he was not an independent thinker. He actually would have, whatever Trump liked, whatever Trump didn't like, that was what Charlie was with. Whatever Trump was on, Charlie was on. He wasn't a free thinker. He wasn't an independent thinker. He was a MAGA shield. Whatever Trump was on, Charlie was on. So I've already said that a couple of times on X. I'm like, look, y'all can't have it both ways. Well, I think y'all are trying to communicate to us that Charlie was not the Charlie we thought he was. And if that's the case, cool. Stand on that. Stand on the fact that, look, Charlie lied to y'all. He wasn't like that. He wasn't somebody that was like, keep asking questions. That was all a front. That was cap. He did that for the clicks. He did that for different votes. What Charlie truly was on was whatever Trump was on. He was not all that what y'all been hearing. No, all of that was cap. All of that was fake. If they can stand on that, I'm okay with that. But the problem is they want best of both worlds. They want us to believe that Charlie's legacy is what we hear in his clips. But then when they promote him on his show and talk about him on his show, it's the complete opposite of what the clips that we see. So like, I don't know. It's crazy, bro. These people, they're jokes sitting around that table. And Andrew Kovac, somebody, let me see if I can find it really quick. It's on the same topic. Thomas Massey came out and said, is the Charlie Kirk show distributed by, a foreign agent? And we know where that agent is. Right, the country, the Middle East. So he said, here it is right here. Thomas Massey said, is it true that the Charlie Kirk show is now distributed by a registered foreign agent of, you see right here. And then obviously the Leah File, she's always on it. I mean, y'all got to go watch her content. She is always on it. But Andrew Kovet, Danks is on it too. Andrew Kovet, all the way down here. Wherever you at, bro. Where you at? There you go. He says, the answer to your question is no. The CK show, which I started with Charlie in 2019, which I think he's trying to give himself. Oh, shoot, I'm not even on the screen. I apologize. He's trying to give himself way too much credit. I've been here for the entire journey, booked all the guests, including you twice, developed all of the editorial. We follow Bannon's War Room. I actually love your stances on war. Mahad Nadeb, to make any of this about that country is not only wrong, it is telling. Funniest part about it, I mean, you got so many people out clowning Turning Point USA. Here it is right here. So Andrew Kovet says, no, that's not true at all. Grok says, yes, it is. Yes, they are distributed by, so the Charlie Kirk show is distributed by a foreign agent that's registered to the Middle East. And it's like, it's just a movie at this point. I don't really understand what's going on. It just doesn't feel real sometimes. And even AI is sick of Andrew Kovet's BS. And this person too, Trisha Hope, she also has great content. I'm not Grok, but yes, it's Salem News Media. So everybody knows this already, but Andrew Kovet is going to gaslight as usual and say, no, it's not true at all. The Charlie Kirk show is not distributed by whatever. And then Blake Neff comes out of nowhere. He comes out of nowhere and says, it's news to me. So like he's finding out for the first time that the Charlie Kirk show is distributed by a registered foreign agent. And he says it's news to me. It's just a joke. I don't know, man. These people have to get paid to entertain us every single day. They have to, because you know that these people know, they already know that they're distributed by Salem Media, all that stuff. It's crazy. Now, switching gears a little bit. The fake chapters. That has been a thing going on ever since the UNF America tour, with these fake chapters. For the ones that don't know, the fake chapters, the UNF America tour is kind of like the opposite of Turning Point USA on the Democratic side of the aisle. And the UNF America tour is trying to expose TPUSA. So we actually have something in common, which is a lot of us don't like Turning Point USA, right? Turning Point USA right now. So I love it. And the documentary they dropped showed that you can just literally type in a town, a city, and just say you are a Club America chapter. You're starting one by yourself. And it was simple. They used an abandoned school that was completely, could have been torn down. It needs to be torn down. And they used that school and registered a Club America chapter. And they got email back or whatever, saying that it was official. And then it was on the map saying that it is a Club America chapter officially. And I still have the screenshot, I believe. Yeah. Here's the screenshot. So this is from the UNF America tour. And I went to the Club America's website to find it because I knew they were going to delete it. And here it was, Wilkes County Training School. And it is an abandoned building. And it is on Club America's map. So, that opened up a huge, huge rabbit hole for me. I immediately was like, whoa. So I wonder how many others are there, right? That could have just been the only one they chose to put in the documentary. So I immediately was like, oh, we got to get down to the bottom of this. Well, we did. And I went through a lot of, I guess the state doesn't matter, because I mean, they can't delete them all. It's gonna be obvious. I went through the state of Georgia, right? I'm born and raised in Georgia, so I'm familiar with the area, the Atlanta area. I'm familiar with it all. So it was like, I'm gonna go through the state of Georgia because I know, especially in the city of Atlanta, they're not doing no Club America chapter. Y'all got the city of Atlanta itself is a Democratic city. That is a blue county. Everything around it is red. But the city of Atlanta, y'all know how big those cities are. Like those cities are blue cities. And when I seen Club America was in the city of Atlanta, I said, I know that's a lie. I know that's a lie. So you know what? I'm gonna start there and I'm gonna work my way out. And yes, it was a lie. They had 3 in the city of Atlanta. All of them were fake. And then I expanded from there and I found out that out of the entire state of Georgia, 50 chapters were fake. I'm gonna pull up this list that I was keeping up with. $50 Club America chapters were fake. And I think out of maybe like 55, it wasn't that crazy. It was like 55 or so chapters, and 50 of the 55 out of the state of Georgia was a fake chapter. So let me just show y'all the list right quick, and then I'm gonna just show y'all kind of like the research of it as well. All right, so y'all can see right here. I'm going through them. These are some of them that I chose to like write down. I was getting into other states, but I was creating a new spreadsheet for the rest of the states. But you can see right here, I was going through all of these. All of these are fake. Every single one of them are fake chapters. And it goes all the way down. And this is all my research. I was pulling all this up. And every single one of these chapters were fake. Now, the ones that you kind of see highlighted in red are these activism hubs. Very, 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 very strange things. I realized that, oh snap. I realized that as I was doing my research on this, is that the activism hubs and the Christian schools are kind of like the dead giveaways, because most Christian schools, I can't say all of them. I think I found one Christian school that has the Club America, but most Christian schools, when I pulled it up, were like, this school prioritizes Christian values and Christian education and not politics. So there's not a Club America, nor would they allow it. So I just started going to a whole bunch of Christian schools, and they literally would say the same thing. There's no Club America here. Why would we allow that here? But the activism hubs were a little weird because, let me see. Try to pull this up for y'all right quick. Yeah, let me do that one. So the activism hubs are a little weird because it's almost like they're creating a location out of thin air. And it's kind of like a loophole in a way. I mean, this whole thing is a loophole. That's why they're all fake chapters. Not all of them, but most of them. But let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Bro, get off my screen. Why can't I see? My zoom in button is literally right here. And I can't click it. Okay, let me try it. There we go. All right. So look at this right here. These activism hubs. I want to go to Macon because I already took a picture of it. All right, right here. These activism hubs, they're dang near in every city. And I was like, what is an activism hub? I've never heard of that before. before Turning Point USA, before Club America and all this other stuff, I never heard of an activism hub. And then when you look at these locations, it's like, okay, some of these you can see that at least it's near some type of civilization. But this activism hub, I was like, this is in the middle of nowhere. Like, what is even out here? So then I zoom in a little bit. I'm like, bro, this is literally in the middle of nowhere. This is definitely like residential houses and stuff like that. But almost every city has an activism hub. And I thought that was the strangest thing ever. So then with this activism hub, I pulled up Google Earth to see where it was, especially with this one, specifically with this one. And this is that same activism hub. I took, yeah, okay, cool. I didn't want to zoom in too closely. I didn't want to like dox anybody, like somebody's random house with address numbers and stuff. But this is the activism hub, that same one. It's in the middle of nowhere. In a town that just has one road that goes all the way through it. So one of those towns. It's nothing else going on around it. So I refuse to believe that there is, multiple members of this chapter. Maybe the person that's the owner or the CEO and president of Club America location making activism hub. Maybe that person is just one person. I don't know. I refuse to believe that this house in the middle of nowhere has members of this town, because nobody else is coming from outside of this town. It's a very, very small town that's meeting at this place. This doesn't, it's literally is not real at all. I refuse to believe it. I'm not about to let these people gaslight me. This house right here is not an activism hub, and there's no chapter going on. Again, unless it was similar to the Un-F America documentary, and maybe somebody at this house after Charlie died signed up and wanted to, I don't know, help out where they can and say, I want to start a chapter. But that just doesn't make any sense. Because to their point, why would it be so easy to just sign this up and you honor that by putting a pin on the map and saying that we have a chapter here? Like, that doesn't really add up to me. So I don't really believe, and I'm not buying that. I think it's for a reason. Then there's also many other people as well working on this same thing, especially when I made a couple of TikToks about it. People were sending me stuff left and right. One person said, the high school I work at is listed on the Club America website. We do not have a Club America. Principal said he's never heard of one since he's been with the district for the last 10 years. And we only have one high school in the district. So these are the things that validate your findings, right? So when you pull up these high schools, these activism hubs and all these different locations, that was the part where I was like, okay, if I find a few and I'm like, I don't think that's a real hub, but maybe it is. I don't know. But then you have 20 to 30 people also reaching out saying, bro, I called the school and they said they never heard of it. Okay, so if that's the case, then you have to believe that a lot of these, when you can't find, if there's a club like surface level research, if you can't find it, you got to believe it. You have to, because it's also kind of easy to find the schools that do have an actual active Club America chapter. So like somebody drop a city where y'all from. Let's go through one, or let's go through a couple just to see if we can find another fake one. Drop a city, a state, whatever. PA, Pennsylvania. Okay. All right, let me get my screens together. Philadelphia, the real Philly. Okay. You got Starkville, Mississippi. Let me see. I'm already right by Mississippi, so let me just check really quick. Starksville, Mississippi. Oh yeah, you right next to the University, Mississippi State. So that's gonna be a tough one. We'll search it up though. We will search it up. Starkville, Mississippi. Here we go, right here. I know I'm not sharing my screen yet. Actually, there is. Let me share my screen really quick. There is actually no chapter at Mississippi State. But I'm gonna just share my screen really quick so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. So I zoomed in on Mississippi, right? And wherever Starksville was, it was close. Here it is right here. Starksville is right here, if you can see my mouse. So there's this Webster County Activism Hub. And again, it's these activism hubs. I just refuse to believe that every single city, every single state has an activism hub. I've never heard of those things before. So you got these activism hubs. And let's see, it says Sherwood, Mississippi. And it's probably going to be in the middle of the road too. Watch. The activism hubs is always on a residential house, or it's in the middle of the road where you can't even verify where it. Look, it's in the middle of the interstate. It's in the middle of the interstate. Oh, it's not an interstate, but it's a highway. It's in the middle of the highway. Middle of the highway, Webster. So anybody that's near there, whoever throughout Mississippi, it's in the middle of the highway in Webster, Mississippi. There's no point in even doing Google Earth on this because it's in the middle of the highway. Like that doesn't make any sense at all. So we don't even need to do that one. Let me look at somebody else. I see Oxford. What is that? That's Mississippi too, right? Bro, this website is trash. Let me try Oxford, Mississippi. Here it is. I can see it right here. Nothing in Oxford, but something right here. Right. So South Panola High School. Now, this should be very, very simple to figure out. So all I'm looking at right here is South Panola High School. I'm going to search up this South Panola High School. All right, so got it right here. Is there a Club America at South Panola High School, Mississippi? There is no recognized Club America chapter at South Panola High School in Batesville, Mississippi. While some other high schools in Mississippi have recently debated adding the Turtle Point USA affiliated Club America to their campuses, it is not listed among the official student organization at South Panola. And then you can literally go to the South Panola website which I mean it's pointless, but I'm just walking y'all through things that I have done all day. You go to the South Panola High School and you literally go to the clubs for the extracurricular activities and all that stuff, and there is no Club America listed. Then on top of that, it is 2026. So in 2026, you have a digital footprint. So anything that somebody tweets, any Instagram posts, and you got to remember, it's Club America. So this is something that they're promoting. They would never do a Club America and not say anything online. And anything that you say online can be found now with AI. So if anybody says Club America, South Panola High School, and they said it one time on Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, it would come up. So with this South Panola High School, all you got to do is just scroll. There won't be a single thing about South Panola High School and Club America together. There's some places on here that says that the high school isn't even in that state. When I was going through, I believe Georgia, one of the high schools in South Georgia was like, it's not even a high school in Georgia. You got it confused. South Panola is the bluest dang blue you could think of. Right. So, I mean, and you got a blue county, a blue city, but somehow they think that there's a Turning Point chapter at South Panola High School. We could talk about a few more for sure before we continue, because it's crazy. It's crazy. Let me see if I missed somebody. Salisbury, North Carolina. Sure. Now, places like Tennessee, I think Tennessee signed a contract with Turning Point USA and the mayor, the governor, or something like that, and they signed off on Club America's being in every single high school. So places like Tennessee is kind of hard because they just went crazy. Like as soon as they approved it, they immediately started marking off all the high schools having a Turning Point chapter. And so you have to kind of like that's tough because it could be pending. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to verify when the governor signed off every high school should have it. But when you go to these states that don't have those contracts set up, it's like, yeah, I mean, something's clearly going on. Let me go to I don't even know how to pronounce that. Salisbury, North Carolina. Let me check. Here it is right here. Let me share my screen. All right, Salisbury, North Carolina. I can see it right here. I mean, look at, oh my Lord. I gotta get to some of these. Okay. Where did Salisbury go? Bro, get off my screen, bro. There it is. So nothing in Salisbury, but we have one right here. South Rowan High School in China Grove, North Carolina. South Rowan High School. Okay. Yeah, I'll see it right here. All you gotta do is put it in. North Carolina. There is no official Club America chapter. the student-led Turning Point USA. So look, AI know what it's talking about. AI knows the reference, and then they're also comparing Club America as a soccer program, a soccer club. So they're giving the benefit of the doubt, but they're also saying the student-led Turning Point USA organization. There is no official Club America. And then you can look here. Students at South Rowan High School turn leadership. Something totally different. Something totally different. Yeah, I mean, I just clicked on the Instagram page. Something totally different. It's not even about what we're talking about. But when you go through all of these links again, you will see nothing about any post, not even a single post about that high school in Club America. Not a single one. Jada website now says they have 1,200 high school chapters. Didn't they say it was more than that? I did see that. I actually think that I think the documentary got it wrong, because I feel like it was always advertised on the website as 1,200 or so, and I know the documentary said like 3,300. So I'm not sure where they got that from. Maybe somebody said that and they took that and used it. But I noticed that as well. Either way, because some people have been saying, well, you know, the people on that side of the aisle that are like, what does it matter? Those people are always trying to find like different holes in your story. So they're attacking the point of, you said it was 3,300, but really it's only 1,200, blah, blah. I'm like, regardless, you got to understand the math of that. Would you rather have 60 fake chapters when you have 3,300 listed? Or would you rather have 60 fake chapters with 1,200 listed? I would rather have 3,300 and 60 be fake. You have a smaller number of chapters now, right? You only have 1,200 chapters and 60 is fake, right? It's not good. That ratio is not good. So that's why I'm like, that's a terrible point to bring up, because it still doesn't, we're still talking about fake chapters here. So what about these fake chapters? Stop worrying about the number. Now, I want to see something curious, because I've been to this area. Y'all know me. I live in Charlotte, so like I'm familiar with the area, and I see y'all are gonna see some different things going on in live time, because I didn't even search Charlotte. I wanted to start in Georgia because I just moved to Charlotte not too long ago. It's only been like 2 years, under 2 years. Georgia is my whole life. Atlanta's my whole life. But I'm familiar with the area though. So let's check out some of these really quick before we go on to Megyn Kelly. I'm curious. Let's see. Ain't no way. No. I mean, maybe it's a public school. You kind of can do whatever, but Myers Park. No, there's nothing in Myers Park. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh, it didn't even show me researching it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I can't stand all these different screens. All right, let me look at a couple of more. University City Activism Hub on University? Man, what are you talking about? You can't just take a street name or whatever and just say it's an activism hub. Like, what do you? And then again, it's in the middle of the street, bro. I promise y'all, there is no activism hub over here on this side of Charlotte. I promise y'all. And what is that? What is University City Activism Hub? There was something in Georgia called Classical Conversations Hub. I'm like, y'all are just making stuff up. Let me look at a couple of more because these are I'm very familiar with. No, let me see. Not buying it. Oh man, I want to find one for y'all. That way I can show y'all how easy it is to indicate if there is one or if there isn't one. Because it's pretty simple. Nope, there's not one there either. Look, this is a freaking house over here. Oh no, Hopewell High School. Yeah, let me do one more before I move on. Because this is the rabbit hole I'm talking about. I'll just go down the rabbit hole. Oh my gosh, bro. What is up with these activism holes? Activism hubs, activism holes. That's tough. That's bro. Oh, great. Right in front of a train track in a neighborhood. Okay, bro. Okay. But it's just the rabbit hole I went down and just like I just couldn't believe what I was finding. I just couldn't find every it was almost like the ratio was like 10-1 for every, it was 10 schools that would be fake, 10 chapters that would be fake, and then one would be real. All right, let me get to some of y'all comments before I get to Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly is the last thing of the night, and it is very interesting. You should call the schools live on air so we can hear them deny even about the TPUSA tornado. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had a daytime show, man, because I would. Obviously, ain't nobody gonna pick up now. I would. I sure would. If it's on the map on Club America's website, that means they're saying it's in that school. Yeah. They're saying somebody registered that location and said that they want to open up a Turning Point chapter right there. So somebody filled out the paperwork. Like I probably can go in here and let me see. Yeah, like let me see if I can share this again. I'm gonna go here, start a club. Bro, follow me. Thank you. First name, last name, email, phone number, state, zip code. And then I believe it's the location. Once you get all of that in, then they come back with where. That's on the UNF America tour. They show that part of the entire process, where it's at. They show that entire thing. So somebody registered that location. Somebody. And it could have been anybody. That's what the point of the UNF America tour was showing, is that anybody could have registered that location. Basically, in my mind, is somebody that's a fraud at Turning Point USA could literally just be going through the map and just dropping pins and registering themselves. Especially when I find residential houses being activism hubs. Why would somebody dox theirself, right? I know that their name is not on there and all that, but why would somebody want their physical address on Club America's website, right? To their residential house, not a building, you know what I mean? Not a suite. I found like 5 residential houses, right? I'm searching this up. And I was able to find an activism hub, but it was attached to a residential house. How crazy is that? That me from across the world, I just looked at your house and I know exactly where you live. I don't know who's there, but I can go there. What if I just pull it up? What if I just pull it up and I say, hey, it's an activism hub here. What's up? What are we doing? Yeah. It does. Yeah. It says their address. Like if I pull up Google Earth, right? The pictures that I just showed, I'm not going to, I think I already cropped them out. So y'all will see what I'm talking about. This right here, this Macon Activism Hub. So on Turning Point's website, on Turning Point's website, if I go down to the Macon Activism Hub, down here, Macon, where you at? Augusta, Macon. There it is. So see, the Macon Activism Hub is right here. And if I zoom in far enough, if you zoom in far enough, and this is off the website, so this ain't me doxing nobody and none of that. But if you zoom in far enough, you see numbers, right? You see numbers. You see numbers. This is Turning Point's fault, not mine. And that is the Macon Activism Hub. Look, street name and a number. And this right here is this house. That is this house. Oh, I'm tripping. I'm not even showing y'all. That is this house right here. And if you do Google Earth, which is how I do most of my research and done most of my research today, Google Earth would drop you on this street, right? Maybe not, I don't think for this one, but for the other activism hubs, it would drop you right on the street and you could just turn and look dead at the house. And it literally would tell you the street number, and you go back to the Club America website and it shows the same exact street number. That's how you know it ain't real. But that is this place right here, somebody's house in the middle of nowhere. Crazy. Crazy. But I did that for a lot of them, though. I'm looking at some comments before I get to Megan Kelly, which is the last thing of the night. It is, but it's crazy. I don't know, you know. They're clearly doing it for a reason. We know that Turning Point USA is very familiar with fraud. Man, God is exposing these devils in TPUSA and its administration. That is a fact. They are getting exposed big time. Big time. And you can't tell me that somebody's not benefiting from dropping all of these pins and these locations on this map. Somebody's benefiting from it. It's a reason. You know, I have all of my speculations of, you know, they trying to sell off that, you know, the non-profit, non-taxed thing. So that's why they have all of this. Oh, look what we're doing. We have all of these different locations because they have to continue to maintain their non-profit status. So that's a theory that they're trying to just show all of this stuff. You also can have the theory of the government grants them money. It's a nonprofit. So if you can show that you are providing a lot of services to the community, the government continues to grant you money. You have donors, which there's already an article out, and I mean it's pointless to pull up, but there's an article out of I believe, forgot what the guy's name is, but you can pull it up. Somebody endorsed Club America with like $1 million. Like they donated $1 million to Club America so they can keep going. That person that donated $1 million could be laundering that money for something else, for other reasons. So he puts that 1 million into Club America and then it does something else, right? So you can also take a donation and turn it into a payment. So you can take a donation from somebody for your nonprofit, and then that donation can pay, let's just say, Turn Point USA. So now that's not a donation for Turn Point USA, it's a payment. So then it ends up being just laundered. You know what I mean? Like it's absolutely insane. My mind goes crazy about it. But they're doing it for a reason. All right. Let's get to the Megyn Kelly thing, and then I will get to everybody's comment that I missed throughout the entire episode. So Megyn Kelly was on the Hodge Twins podcast, and they did say they were trying to get into some real estate. Interesting. I'm gonna look into that. See if that's some type of correlation. I looked at my high school in my city, and it says on the club website that they have a chapter there, but the high school doesn't have one. Right. So everybody can literally just pull it up. I mean, and I feel like they're gonna eventually turn the map off, turn the interactive map off, because it's getting bad. But it's been so many people that have been coming out saying, like someone else. Let me show one more thing. I know I keep on tangenting, but I just think this is crazy. Look at this one. Somebody tagged me in this and said, "Oh, this is Amy. She's cool. Very cool people." She emailed some people and said, "Hello, on Club America's website, it's listed as blank is listed as having a chapter. Can you tell me where the club meets and what day of the week? I looked on the club list on blank's website, but can't find it. Thanks so much in advance." That's the email. What did the person say? The assistant principal? It is not an active club. So when you go to these websites, I'm telling y'all, the key is going to the website, right? Going to Google first, saying, is it a club? Is there a Club America in said high school? AI is going to probably say no. And then sometimes it'll automatically pull up the school's website and allow you to go through the clubs at that school. And when you go through the clubs, there's not going to be a Club America. So that's your first confirmation is AI, right? But then some people are like, don't let AI fool you, because AI can be wrong. There were schools on here where AI said there is a club, but they gave me the school link, and then there was literally no signs of a club, no digital footprint, nothing on social media. So AI is your first confirmation. Then go to the school website, check the clubs there. Then check the digital footprint. Is there any singular post of somebody saying there is a club here? Because that's what Turning Point USA does. They post a lot. It's a social media campaign. They have to promote that they're doing something. So, hey, meet here. Let's get together. Like, they would talk about something and it would be on the internet. So, like, it's absolutely crazy. And I think the last thing I'll show before I get to the Megyn Kelly thing, I know I keep on saying that. This person right here, this person said, we have another fake TPUSA chapter. I've lived in AV. What is that at? Is that Arizona? I don't know. My whole life, nothing here. And then look, Antelope Valley Hub. Again, another hub. And then look at the video.
Here is where TPUSA is saying that there is a chapter. Let's see. Do we see a school?
Middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere. It's a trend. It's a trend. Now, on to Megyn Kelly. Obviously, y'all know how I feel about her. She has been very two-faced when it comes to the Charlie Kirk investigation. Very two-faced. And she showed her true colors once again with the Hodge twins. And she said some things that just made me want to lose my absolute mind. And I just want y'all to take a listen and let me know what y'all think to make sure I ain't tripping. Because a lot of people say take it easy on Megyn, take it easy on Tucker Carlson. And I'm not saying I don't like them. I think that they are on the right side of history a little bit. But I think Megyn for sure plays both sides. She want to make sure, you know, both her audiences are happy. The audience of, you know, kind of like us, and then the audience that's like, hey, don't you say a bad thing about Erica. Those type of people too. She plays both sides. So let's listen to Megyn Kelly a little bit on her take of the Charlie Kirk investigation. And y'all let me know what y'all think if y'all feel like she played both sides.
Right. Yeah. You were really close with Charlie. What do you think about the about his death and the official story on what happened?
You know, I feel like a lot of what has happened to me in my own life this year has in some way resulted from Charlie's murder. I think I changed dramatically on that day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't totally know how yet. I just know it's true. It definitely had a profound impact on me. And I don't know about the story around his murder. I do believe Tyler Robinson killed him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
You just said you don't know. I don't know the story. I don't know the story around his murder. I just know Tyler Robinson killed him, though. What? You just said you don't know. And it's okay to just not know. Right? Tucker kind of plays that side. He plays that side of like, I don't know, man. Something ain't right, but I don't know. She just says she don't know, but I do know that Tyler Robinson killed him. Okay, bro.
No, believe Tyler Robinson. No, about the story around his murder. I do believe Tyler Robinson killed him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who, if at all, was also involved. I definitely am unsatisfied with the investigation into trans Tifa, you know, around him. Why were people tweeting that he was going to get shot, he was going to die that day, and you just wait for it? And then there've been no additional arrests. And we've had no explanation on it. Like, what happened to those people? Have they been ruled out? Why were they tweeting those things? There was multiple of them. And reportedly from that community out there. So it's like.
So she's acknowledging that there is a community of people that had foreknowledge. But yet she is so confident that Tyler Robinson was the one that did it, when she doesn't even have anything to prove that Tyler Robinson was the one that did it. She doesn't have a video that Tyler Robinson did it. Nothing. There's nothing out there besides those pictures in the stairwell that still don't confirm if that was actually Tyler Robinson. She has nothing out there that confirms Tyler Robinson did it. But she's so confident. But yet then she's like, is there any more arrests with the trans Tifa and blah, blah? And it's like, well, you're acknowledging that it could be multiple entities. So why are you so confident that it was just Tyler Robinson? Because Tyler Robinson is the lone wolf. So you can't believe in just that, but then also think that there's other entities. This is what I mean by like she played both sides. It's crazy.
That I'm unsatisfied with. And Candace Owens reported on her show something that I and many others I know had been told prior to her saying it openly. I did not report it on my show because I did not have it on the record, and I will not report something for which I don't have two sources. But it's out there now. But she did report that she had a different number than I had heard, but let's just say over 10 Israel-only cell phones on campus that day that Charlie was killed at UVU, meaning a cell phone that it's not like from it has both service in Israel and the United States, where it's like registered in Israel, but then you move to the United States for college. It's like this is an Israeli phone, an Israeli number that has service. It originally had service over there. So, and I heard that from a very, very reliable source. So I don't know what that's about. I think it's led some people to have questions, and it could be complete bullshit. Like that could be, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's some Israeli exchange student didn't change. Maybe there's a bunch of them. I truly don't know, but that's worth investigating. I think I'm fine with questions being asked about this, and I am not satisfied that the government was open-minded to those questions and did ask them. So I'm bothered by it. Because while I do think Tyler Robinson killed Charlie, I don't know whether there's more to the story. And now I don't know whether we'll ever know.
Oh my gosh, bro. Her response is literally both sides every time. What are you talking about? I do believe Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk, but I also believe that we'll never really know what happened to Charlie Kirk. What are you talking about, lady? Pick a side. This is what I be talking about, bro, with picking a side. These folks piss me off, bro. You got a man that's dead that these people fortunately were able to have a relationship with, you know what I mean? A friendship with. They were friends with Charlie Kirk. They claim that. And then here they are, so afraid of somebody. And they just won't have his back. They playing both sides because they don't want to lose money. They don't want to lose the audience and all that other stuff. And here she is talking about Tyler Robinson definitely did it, but nothing around Charlie Kirk's murder makes any sense. So I don't know if we'll ever know, but I think Tyler Robinson did it. So it sounds like Like, what are you talking about? But it gets worse.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see how the guy that almost got Trump, how you don't spot somebody on the roof. I don't know how his security doesn't see a guy on the roof. It's like what you should be looking at all times.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens and nobody didn't notice that. I used to speak out about it all the time. I was like, these events that Turning Point has, I said, you guys are sitting ducks out there in the open. For his security detail to be so relaxed and allow that
Trump's
to happen.
or Charlie's?
Charlie's. For that to happen, and the assassination tip on Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Yeah, how something like that happen is like incompetence.
Yeah. Well, I will say this about the Trump situation. Number one, we don't have enough information about his shooter at all. It's very weird. Any mass, entirely is vague that there might be a rooftop killer. I do think people got relaxed. They let their guards down. They started to
try to find the one when she started talking about Erica, because oh my gosh, it gets much worse. Trump. Here you go. She starts saying,
still, even more so now. So I don't know what went down there, but I don't understand how, that was July of 24 that happened, and Charlie was killed in September of 25. So you're, 14 months later, you can't say it was a failure of imagination there. And what I was told by people who know is that Charlie's security team was told that the local officials had it. Like the local officials there were going to patrol the roofs. And they accepted that. And obviously that wasn't the case. I don't really know to this day whether it was done just inadequately or it wasn't done at all. But if it was done, it was done so poorly, and there's no excuse.
I mean, I don't think she knows what she wants to say. She just has to toe the line. Because you said, does she mean she believes Tyler Robinson did it, but more agents were involved? It wasn't some rogue trans person. No, she thinks Tyler Robinson was the lone wolf. She might say it again, but that is her position. But I know you're probably confused, just like all of us. She thinks Tyler Robinson is the lone wolf, but then she's going to turn around and say, I mean, I think nothing around the Charlie Kirk investigation makes any sense. I just think that Candace Owens should question that country, in the Middle East, because something just isn't adding up. What about that? Like, she just goes this whole spiel about it not making any sense, but then somehow she comes to the conclusion that Tyler Robinson doing it makes all the sense in the world. It's crazy.
There's just gonna be no excuse, and there has to be full investigation of exactly what went wrong on the security front, and that too, I don't think has been done.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah, and Charlie Kirk was very vocal about not going to war with Iran. Him being gone now, and his wife is CEO of Turning Point.
Now watch how she talk about Erica.
Why do you think she hasn't been more vocal about the situation in Iran and standing behind her husband? Yes, who was vocal against it.
Great question. Great question. Great question. Now, what do y'all think Megan gonna say? I think it's a great question. I think it should be an easy response, right? Let's see.
It's almost as like she didn't know what her husband's feelings were on this situation in Iran.
I mean, Erica, she hasn't done that much political talk since Charlie died.
She hasn't done that much political talk. She hasn't done that much political talk. Are we forgetting the whole enough is enough thing where she dressed up like Denzel and she went on to talk about political violence? And we forgetting that she just put out a tweet yesterday talking about some senator or somebody in Congress and congratulating them for their race. She's been around the White House 24/7. What are you talking about, Megan? Now, just remember the question, though. Why is she so quiet on the Iran thing and backing her husband's word? Just remember the question, because she might take us for a ride right now.
She's done a lot of public appearances, but she hasn't done that much specific policy, talk. Some, but not a ton. And that's a tricky one because, and it's dividing feelings about Turning Point as we speak.
Right.
The same thing that was affecting Turning Point when Charlie was killed is affecting it today, which is the Republican Party is cleaved in two. Right? There's like the very neocon pro-Israel faction, and there is the Israel skeptical, non-interventionist faction, that's more America first. Or as
y'all didn't forget the question, did you?
MTG put it, America only, at this point. I'm kind of more where she is, but whatever. And there was a battle underway when Charlie was killed to see which way Turning Point would go. Charlie had been, my own evolution with Charlie was like, we were in lockstep, and I knew Charlie very well. And we talked about this a lot. So I know what I'm talking about. But he and I were in exactly the same place. We had both been very, very pro-Israel in a way that was totally unquestioning and deeply loyal. And then after Gaza, and it just went on and on, we both sort of got to the point where it was like, okay, like enough. Your most ardent fans looked the other way for a long time, but it's gone on too long. It's gotten too brutal. You don't get an unending pass on brutality, wiping out kids. Okay. Like,
y'all didn't forget the question, did you?
We're paying attention.
Oh my gosh.
And he was there too. And he, even more than yours truly, had his finger on the pulse of what young Republicans wanted, what young conservatives were feeling. And they were already against the war. You know, the Democrats went long ago against Israel. All of the independents had turned by the summer before when Charlie was killed. And the young Republicans were turning in huge numbers. And he knew it. He had.
When did he ask this question? 106. It's been 3 minutes. She hasn't answered the question yet.
Done a forum with young Republicans talking about exactly that. And it's out there. You can see it. You can Google it.
Right.
And so Charlie was starting to turn. He was starting to turn on Israel. And he did not appreciate the pressure he was under from his Jewish donors to not turn and to not platform people like Tucker, who had already turned. He didn't appreciate it. He resented it. He was thinking about giving back their donations. And there was a question about which way Turning Point was going to go because, you know, the Republican Party was divided in two. Was Turning Point going to choose a side? And was it going to be, quote, the wrong side, you know, in the minds of his like deeply devoutly pro-Israel donors? And he died before that was resolved. And so I feel for
Let me let her talk.
Erica, because I don't think Charlie was having an easy time of that. And Erica certainly is not going to be having an easy time with that. You know, like she's left with Charlie's messaging, which was no war with Iran, but that anti-Semitism is brain rot. And probably in no condition to discern what exactly is anti-Semitism and what's not. Because like people are conflating that.
Okay, outside of the straight bull that she talking about right now, let me see if I can comprehend what she's saying. She's sucking up to Erica, right? She's giving her excuses. But let me see if I can comprehend this. She's saying that Erica does in fact know that Charlie was against the war in Iran. But the reason she doesn't want to speak on that is because she doesn't know that if she says something, it's anti-Semitic or not. She doesn't know if it's anti-Semitic or not. So she just doesn't say anything at all. That's what I got from it. Because that's what she just said. She has his message on the Iran war, but she just doesn't know if certain things are anti-Semitic or not. What? So you're going to, I guess, provide some type of you want to protect their feelings over your dead husband. I want to protect the feelings of the country in the Middle East. I don't know if I'm being anti-Semitic or not, even though my husband was absolutely pissed off and stressed and died. But no, I'm gonna still cater to your feelings. I don't know if what I say is gonna be anti-Semitic or not. So I'm just gonna allow y'all to spin my dead husband's words and to whatever y'all want. Y'all can have the ghost of Charlie. That's what I just got out of Megan on why she's giving Erica an excuse.
Right now, in no condition to discern what exactly is anti-Semitism and what is Charlie's messaging, which was no war with Iran, but that anti-Semitism is brain rot. And probably in no condition to discern what exactly is anti-Semitism and what's not. Because like people are conflating that right now. They're expanding that term as we speak to include any criticism of Israel. And Erica, for most of her adult life, has not been a political figure. She's been a wife. She was reality TV. She was
in 2015, she told that 15-year-old girl that she was heavy into political affairs and she used to go to DC all the time. In 2015, it's been 11 years. So unless these people just like, oh, I just didn't know that. I don't know, bro. I just feel like you're on social media. You see what we see, right? It's already sick of me just thinking the fact that Erica used to talk to 15-year-old girls and that just doesn't bother Megan. I'm normal. So like I'm put off by that, right? If I knew about that at all of any of my homeboys or something, I don't care if it was 10 years ago. That's some weird issue you got going on. That doesn't bother Megan at all. Now she's sitting here lying to us, talking about she just recently got into. She's been in heavy political affairs. She said that herself. I have been into heavy political affairs, and I go to DC all the time. And she was explaining why she got like the clear, like the white tattoos. This is the part I'm saying, bro. Megan pisses me off, bro. She plays both sides, bro, and it's so bad. It's so obvious.
Realtor, like she hasn't been in the business. This is complex stuff,
right?
Even for me, and I've been in law and politics for a long time, decades. So I just think she's probably, and I haven't talked to her about this, but I think she's probably, I don't know, feeling the ground under her feet moving and not wanting to do anything that's going to undermine her husband's organization, and doing her best to just hold whatever factions she can together so that they don't turn on Turning Point. You know, like I think based on what we saw.
Are y'all hearing what I'm hearing? I don't want to say too much because I don't want that country in the Middle East to turn on Turning Point. Your husband's dead, bro. And this ain't Erica saying it, right? So I can't put all my energy at that. It really should be at Megan for either, I don't know. My energy is definitely, it should be directed at Megan. I just don't know what she's talking about right now. It doesn't make any sense, and it pisses me off because I'm like, is this how Erica thinking? I don't know. But Megan is not the person that should be speaking for Erica if this is not how she's thinking. She doesn't want to piss I almost said it. She doesn't want to piss that country off because it might turn on Turning Point. Your husband is dead. Her husband is dead. Megan, you was on a show with Charlie a month before he died. And he was talking to you about how stressed he was, how pissed off he was at all of those people. So I don't really think it matters, bro. I don't give a freak if they so upset about what Erica got to say. That's her husband that's dead now. So yeah, it's up. It's up. Every donor, every message, whoever pissed Charlie off in his final days, I'm airing it out. I'm airing it out. You, your number, all that. You was stressing my husband out, and now he's dead. And she's talking about Erica didn't want to make the Jewish donors upset, so they'll turn on Turning Point. She didn't want that. That sounds crazy. You might just need to stop talking, Megan. This ain't going well for you.
So that doing her best to just hold whatever factions she can together so that they don't turn on Turning Point. You know, like I think based on what we saw at their event in December, AmFest, she would like to keep both factions under the Turning Point roof. I don't know whether it's possible.
Yeah.
And I think she'd like to keep those pro-Israel donors on board and not lose the non-interventionalist section of the party. And I don't know whether that's possible either. So that's, you asked me why she hasn't said anything about it. That's my guess without having spoken to her directly.
So without having spoken to her directly, that's my guess. Okay, Megan. Well, if that's your friend and you think your friend thinks like that after her husband was killed, and you think that your friend would rather keep her Jewish donors happy instead of speaking the truth on what actually happened to her husband and that he was stressed out, if you think that that's a great idea for her to do, you're sick for calling her a friend. I would have been called her out. You're sick for saying that Charlie was a friend to you. You're sick for being associated with somebody like that. You are sick for not realizing how crazy that is. That is insane. Protecting Jewish donors. What, bro? After your husband is dead, you think that's what Erica's worried about? I hope not, right? Clearly it is. But the fact that Megan doesn't even realize what I think she realized what she said. She knows exactly what she's doing. That's the reason why we playing this video, because she knows she's two-faced and she knows it.
You think Charlie Kirk's death was a coincidence at that point in time where he was starting to turn against Israel? You think that was just a coincidence?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's going on, bro? Yes, sir. We will do something next week. We will. Had a lot of graduations and all that stuff this week. So next week we'll probably be able to make some shake for sure.
That's the biggest thing I'm having a tough time grasping is how does this happen now? And to probably, I would say, one of the most important men in the Republican Party's history. I mean, when he died,
her and JD get along well. Megan is too pro Philly. She may realize if she's playing the game and she knows what she said, maybe that exposed. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it exposed her. That was not good. Her explanation was terrible.
I feel that America First died with Charlie that day.
I know what you mean. I think actually, like in retrospect, it was MAGA that died.
Yeah.
You know, because I think America First is still there. I think we're living it. Like there are many of us who still feel it and are living it. It's not a principle that's being shared by everybody, but you know, Trump has now defined MAGA to be you support Mark Levin or you don't.
Right.
Like you actually have to be pro-Israel, pro this war. And he literally was MAGA, but not be loyal to the truth. MAGA, because you know, I guess I have a dear friend who knows a lot about Israel and its leaders and is like very connected. And this person swears to me that Israel does not kill Americans, like does not do individual assassins. This is not a naive person. And Tyler Robinson.
Well, you're naive, man, because he's lying to you. He or she is lying to you. So, bro, oh my gosh, man. Let me let her talk. She pissing me off, bro. Talking about my friend told me that we should trust Izzy. My friend told me that they're very good people and they would never do such a thing. Okay, Megan. Ain't nothing in between them ears, huh?
Is exactly the and Tyler Robinson is exactly the kind of person who could have pulled the trigger on his own. The loner, the trans furry lover. You know, I mean, we've seen so many of these bizarre leftists, you guys.
Yeah.
Is it so hard to believe that it was just this lone wolf loser who thought Charlie was too hateful? It's not for me. I've covered so many of these school shootings.
Did y'all hear? Is it so confusing to believe that Tyler Robinson did it by himself? It's not for me. It's so clear cut. It totally makes sense. Dude.
And this thought the kind of person who could have pulled the trigger on his own. The loner, the trans furry lover. You know, I mean, we've seen so many of these bizarre leftists, you guys.
Yeah.
Is it so hard to believe that it was just this lone wolf loser who thought Charlie was too hateful? It's not for me. I've covered so many of these.
That's the point, Megan. They wanted to have all of those things because it fits the general description of a school shooter or the person that commits a crime. That's exactly what they want.
School shootings. And this guy fits the profile of so many of these school shooters.
Right.
White kid, young 20s, psychotic break, manipulated by radical messaging on the left, buys it, snaps, and, you know, does a school shooting, which really Charlie was killed in a school shooting, if you think about it. So it's not hard for me to believe that. But the truth is I can't rule out the Israel connection because we refuse to investigate it. You're not allowed to talk about it. Charlie was breaking from Israel and it was causing an open issue, not just with his Jewish donors, but with Netanyahu, to whom he wrote that long letter. Like Israel.
So what's the solution then, Megan? What's the solution? I know for a fact Tyler Robinson did it, but Israel, Philly, we can't rule that out because Charlie did say this about Philly, that about Philly. He was breaking away the Jewish donors. I don't know. Philly they might be involved. They might, but at the same time, Tyler Robinson is for sure somebody that would do it. Duh. So what should we do? What should we do then, Megan? What should we do? What's the first step? Should we question Philly, like you're saying, or should we believe that Tyler Robinson did? Those are two different things. Like, what do we?
Israel was aware of it. Charlie had a huge amount of power on this issue, and his silencing has made a profound difference. I mean, the silencing of his voice that was Iran or Israel critical, and also didn't want any sort of a war with Iran, which they all clearly knew was coming. Look, I'm not making the case against them. I don't want people to say, hey, like, what are anti-Israel? It's not that. It's just, unlike people who have a horse in the race, like who are like, we defend Israel, or we hate Israel. I am a lawyer. I am evidence-based. And there is.
So what's the evidence then that makes you it makes it so clear to you that Tyler Robinson did it? What's the evidence?
Is smoke around Israel. I just have yet to see actual fire. And
right.
So I don't know. That's why I say I don't know.
How do you feel about Daily Wire losing subs and mass layoffs while voices like you, Tucker?
She's playing both sides, bro. It's so annoying. And it's so obvious and clear. She's embarrassing herself doing that. Because yes, you literally built a case on why Israel. Did not mean to say that. She literally just built the case on why that country should be questioned. You did. And then she's like, I'm not building a case for them. You just did, though. You just did. You just literally brought up some type of motive that country would have to do something to Charlie. Then she backpedals. I'm not bringing up a case against them because I still think it was Tyler Robinson. What? Then it's like, okay, so you have questions, right, surrounding Philly. You have questions surrounding them. Okay, so if nothing makes sense about it, and you're questioning because they blocked Joe Kent and all these other things, okay, well, Erica is super close with Philly, remember? She doesn't want to upset Philly, but yet you're questioning Philly's role in the Charlie Kirk investigation. Do you see how that's an issue? Erica is backing the same people that you have a question mark on when it involves Charlie Kirk. I'm not gonna lie, the Hodge twins, they should have pushed back a little bit more. They should have pushed back. I just need Megan to get on with me. I need these big old people that just play both sides and all that. I just need them to get on with little old me, so I can just ask them straight up. Just ask them straight up. Because I feel like the Hodge twins should have pushed back a little bit and said, like, you're not making any sense, Megan. You playing both sides. You're trying to make everybody happy. If you have all of these questions about Israel, then why are you so confident that it's Tyler Robinson? Can you at least explain to us why you feel so confident about Tyler Robinson? So that way maybe somebody out there can feel more confident about Tyler Robinson. But you just saying he did it, but not explaining what brought you to that conclusion doesn't help anybody. It's crazy. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think, because Megan be playing both sides, man. I just had to show that because that was absolutely crazy. But also make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in or on your way out. Trying to send a super chat, not letting me. Oh, man, it is what it is. YouTube be doing some crazy stuff sometimes. But I appreciate the effort in trying to support the channel. No big deal. I appreciate y'all for listening as usual to, I believe, episode 19 of the Daily App. And don't forget to drop your state either. Drop your state. Let me know where you at so I can drop a pin for you. I gotta add some I gotta add like 2 in Russia. We got 2 Russias listening in. And then make sure you guys hit the sub button as well. We are on the road to 22K, and I appreciate all the support along the way. And I hope y'all have a great night. We will be back tomorrow. Is what, Sunday? Yeah, we'll probably be back tomorrow. But make sure you turn your notifications on. That way you don't miss anything. Because I've been kind of consistent with the 10:30 time frame, but the days is kind of like, you just got to make sure you have the notifications on. I try to go every, it's pretty consistent. I would say I'm way better than when I first started. Usually it was only like once or twice a week. I believe we had like 4 or 5 now. Wednesday is the only day that's guaranteed I'm not getting on. So make sure you turn your notifications on as well. I told y'all already with my life updates that I got a little one that's about to be here in a month and a half. So y'all gonna hear a lot of yapping up until then. And then when that happens, I'm probably gonna be trying to figure out the new schedule with that situation. So that's coming. That's on the way. So I definitely was just trying to prepare for that situation, give everybody a heads up that when July comes, it's gonna look a little crazy and a lot different. But once that schedule gets solidified, we'll be back up and going as well, and with something new. It might be a newer schedule, who knows? But I do appreciate it. But I appreciate y'all. Make sure I hit the like button, sub to the channel. I hope y'all have a great night, great Sunday coming up. I will probably see y'all tomorrow, so that means I will see y'all on the next one.